Third time's a charm, I guess. I'm
Also, I
making
have
sure
no
that
idea why your
yeah,
channel. I have no idea why your channel's like that. By the way, because like if I wanted to go live on like YouTube for my own channel, and I press start streaming after I put in the stream key, it would just start live streaming. So that's why I don't understand.
maybe
I don't understand why yours has to. You have to do whatever you do, and I have to go live. Like that's so weird.
I have also no idea what's going on. I'm gonna absolutely take a look at it later on. Can you make sure just that there is zero fan noise on my end now?
I mean, no one can hear it in here, so it's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, it was when you were
okay,
hosting that we could hear it because
okay,
OBS picks up like a different signal.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the common denominator, whatchamacallit, the only thing that we didn't have last week that we have in this week is Nelson. He is the blame for everything. How are you, man? And what you been playing?
Plague's Tale Requiem. I just finished that. RoboCop I finished recently. That was a lot of fun. That needs a new game plus too. I want to play Spider-Man again. I got a new TV OLED, so I want to try that on 120
Congratulations.
FPS.
I've seen a few people getting an OLED this year. Okay, we're good. So yeah, welcome, welcome. And Weeb, how are you, man? What you been playing?
I'm so glad I wasn't the first one this time. I didn't have to do it 3 times. Only 2 times. Okay, I guess. I've been playing God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. I finished that, I think yesterday or the day before. Great DLC slash expansion for God of War Ragnarok. Absolutely fantastic that it's for free. Um, yeah, it's yeah basically just an epilogue for Ragnarok that gives some closure, I guess, for the entire arc during the entire series of Kratos, that he sort of comes to terms with yeah, who he is, but I won't talk any further about the story. But gameplay wise, it's rogue like light, whatever the genre is. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Has a lot of replayability since you can keep on playing even after you finish the game. There are a couple of things that you could do, like beat some berserkers, and there's an extra cutscene that you can get if you keep on playing and go through all the dialogues that you hear during the different stages. Well, it was a lot of fun. So thoroughly enjoyed it, and now I'm playing a Power Wars simulator, since I need something that I
Can't
could
believe all
play.
the people that play that, dude. Like I got all kinds of chores you can do in real life.
I know. It's strangely therapeutical, and
It is. It is.
I needed something to play, while doing a podcast without any sound and without having to think about it. So yeah, I mean,
It is very
it
good for that.
it's free, right?
Yeah, Morgan actually got me to play it a while back. We actually got really far. We didn't beat it,
I
but
played
yeah.
I I played the whatchamacallit, um the grass cutting
Lawnmower
one.
simulator.
Yeah, the more one, and I gave up because 90%, and I need to find the percent now. It's not fun. I had
Oh,
I had more fun playing one on my phone than the one that I played on console, which says a lot. I don't know how you guys do it.
I don't ever
As
look forward to mowing. I can't imagine doing it in the game. Like, oh, yeah, I gotta go mow for an hour and a half. That's cool.
dude, especially with the amount of games that there are, I don't know how you guys play it. But hey, you do you, I guess.
Yeah, Morgan said it in
Um,
the chat. She said Power
okay.
Wash Simulator is goaded. We had fun. We had mad fun.
Facts.
We actually played with me, Morgan. Um, it was me, Morgan, uh, and Kay and her daughter, and we all played and like cleaned this huge fountain from top to bottom. It took forever. It was crazy. And we also cleaned the golf, I think the golf like putt putt golf kind of area. That was crazy too. But yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had with it, like co-op and stuff, and like the fact that you can go through the campaign co-op. I actually just re-downloaded it on PC to help somebody from Twitter because they were struggling, and I like speed ran it so I could catch up. So yeah, man, it's like you said, it's strangely therapeutic because like I kind of gave Morgan the side eye when she was like, "All right, we playing this or what?" And I was like, "Huh?" And I was like, and I got on it, and I was like, "Yo, why is it like 4 in the morning?" And I like don't want to stop power washing shit.
That's
Like
good. If I look at your PC, you have so many games and you're playing Power Watch. I gave up with you guys.
it's
I
relaxing.
can.
It's relaxing though. Like you don't want to always get into something like that's the problem half the time why I don't game. Like if I just don't want to get into something complicated or I'm not already in
Interesting.
something like neck deep, I'll just end up watching anime, reading manhwa, or something else because like I don't want to get into something complex or I'll just jump
Okay.
on Fortnite and like shoot something. But that's what I'm saying. Like those games are good for those moments when you're just like I'm gonna power wash something, especially because like I'll power wash and also listen to like an audiobook. Like it's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or do a
Okay.
podcast.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Power Watch. How are you?
Hmm.
What you been playing?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry about that. Thank you, Morgan. She said I was a little low. I did see my audio was I did not pay attention to the meter. I should be good now. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing well, Power Wash Simulator. Um
That's good.
also Super
My
Mario
man.
RPG, which I didn't
Oh,
think I was gonna pick up. I did. It's pretty simplistic. You know, it's pretty much baby's first. You know, turn-based JRPG. Um, it's almost a little too simplistic. Like, it's fine for me. Like, I enjoy it because like I get it, but like for a lot of people, I still think I think it would be boring for people who don't really understand JRPGs or turn-based JRPGs. Like, I think it's a little old,
My
like too
8-year-old is loving
rudimentary.
it. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's loving
is
it.
it not a good entry?
I mean, I think it would be well. In his case, so like what Nelson said, I think in his case, if they like Mario, they'll probably have a ball with it. But if the person isn't specifically into Mario and they're just like, oh, I want to try this JRPG, like I feel like that's where it could be. But if you like
Did you
Mario,
ever
then
play the
yeah,
original in eight?
I did not, which is why I picked this up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
so
I mean, it is a hell of fun. So if it's faithful to the original, you're gonna love it.
I heard it pretty much is, and I'm enjoying what I'm playing of it so far. So yeah,
So
I mean, I'm
how's the
not mad at it.
visual?
I mean, visually it looks amazing. Like, I mean, they stepped it way up. Like, it looks great.
Mm.
So I'm not mad at it
So
that at all.
do you play it docked or
I've played it both ways,
portable? Okay.
but yeah, I mean that's the only reason I play it portable at all is because when I switched to my Switch OLED, which has a large enough screen to bother with that kind of stuff. So, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've played it both. It's not like I said again, it's not a game that requires like overly complex certain things. So it's pretty easy to play in either mode. Um, So yeah, I don't mind. I've played most of it docked so far, but that's because I have a dock in the bedroom and the gaming room, so I can just move it and just play on either TV.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I'm trying to get back to Final Fantasy VII Remake. I really would like to be like 70% through that game before the end of the
Just put
year.
it on. I'm not sure if you can put it on easy and call it a day.
Yeah, man, like, that totally doesn't bother me. Like, I'm just trying to get through the story,
I
get
know.
through the combat bits, really just experience the game, and I'm fine with that. I mean, difficulty, like you said, doesn't have any effect on that for me. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I want to finish that, and then I'm also slowly finishing up the true ending. So both me and Morgan have beaten it already, but we're essentially doing the true ending stuff. for Octopath. Um, so where you got to go on the final quest, which then takes you through some areas. And it's pretty tough. Like the difficulty spike in this game is actually pretty nuts on occasion. Um, so
Mhm.
yeah, finishing that up, and then Fortnite. Like I said, I surprisingly, like I said, I'm off and on with that game. So I'm like level 60 this season, just because like I mean they're bringing Metal Gear Solid, and then I also played the Lego Fortnite with Morgan, which was a lot of fun. We got to get back to it and like work on our village and get it get it finished, upgraded and stuff like that. So we're working on that. That was fun. Way more fun. Definitely got to play that game with someone else. I mean, it's cool. Like you can do it alone, but it was like the gathering and the storage and stuff is just way more fun with somebody else. Um, but yeah, I think Final Fantasy Seven remake, like I said, is I really want to make that a priority and a focus because I really want that done like well before
Especially
the game comes out.
the DLC that you also need to finish.
Yeah, which I have that too. So that's
Mm.
kind of
Yeah.
like the really
Same.
big thing, and I want to finish it before anything else comes out. So not just Final Fantasy, but like I still need to finish. I have a playthrough for Baldur's Gate on PC that I'm still doing. And that like Nelson said, that game is massive, and I knew that going in because I played Divinity Original Sin 2, which is their prior game, and I know that game is a massive undertaking. So, um, yeah, I think that's mainly it. I forgot I went to play
I'm
the
figuring
one
I got to
game
clear my
like that.
schedule
So
for like 4 to 8 weeks. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, I'm gonna be honest. You should. It's kind of like how I played The Witcher. I started The Witcher like Witcher 3 like 5 times, and on the fifth time, I literally like I did everything like laundry, house cleaning, bills, whatever, everything, and then I was like, yo, okay, everything is done. Are you good? And like, cause like once I go in, I'm not coming back out. Like I had to like live in that world to like get through it. Like, cause I was like if you've ever played The Witcher 3, like the way the alchemy and the beastry or whatever, how
You're
you,
preaching to the choir.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
yeah, that's
It's
why I'm worried about it. I
yeah.
start playing it, and then Tekken and Grand Blue and how all this stuff comes out, and then I come back and I don't remember what the hell I'm.
Yep, exactly. So that's why like I just had to put everything down and literally focus, and remember each character and basically literally live in that world. Like when I came back to work, motherfuckers was like, "What'd you do this weekend?" I was like, "I was in Novigrad, fucking hoes." Like, and they were like, "Huh?" I was like, "Look, man, don't ask, bro. Just know it was enjoyable and I loved it." Like they were like, "Novigrad, is that on? Where is that?" Like,
Wait, Hero Down Under is saying that volume is quite low.
shouldn't
Are
be.
you low?
I turned mine way up. Like Morgan said, I was low
Let me
earlier. I turned mine
let
way
me
up.
give it.
Yeah, other than
See,
me, Morgan said I was the only one that was low, but I turned it like way up.
well, I can't have access to the audio because I switch audio. If I switch it back, it's gonna bloop.
Yeah, I'll check it.
So I'm not gonna touch it. While you do that, I cut you off and gave Nate the mic. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I was done. I'm good.
Okay,
Yeah,
just making sure.
yeah, it sounds good on my end. I checked it on my
Okay,
phone just now. I sounded fine. You sounded fine. So I
okay.
don't know. They might
Then
it might just be them. So
Hero, just check your volume. Maybe you need to.
yeah, double check the volume, hero. Also, what's up, man?
Yeah. Okay. As for me, so only one game I'm playing so far, and it's Honkai Star Rail. Shout out to the
Okay, it's a
Rex.
gotcha game, so it doesn't count. So move on.
Shout out to the Rex. He is the one that got me in this one, and it's a mess. The story interesting. I'm interested in it. The combat it works, but where does the game fall off? It actually their own concept. So basically, it's a gacha game. So lots of players, I'm gonna be characters are gonna be locked behind gacha mechanic, which um the game is so interesting that I wanted for it to succeed. It just um one the story is unfinished. According to the rec, the story is not finished, and they keep updating it. So I thought the story was done. That's why you can actually platinum this game. But apparently you can't. You can platinum the game, but the story is not finished. So there is that.
Well, I
Um,
mean, in a gacha type game like that, I mean, the story is gonna always keep evolving. I mean, they're gonna keep it going in order to keep people interested and keep people, wanting to return.
which I am surprised because you can actually platinum the game. That was the interesting part for me. Other thing is some characters are flat out broken. If you get them early, good. If you don't, it's gonna make your life a hell.
Yep,
And
that's Gacha Game 101. Can you get the
what
broken
makes it
character or the healer or the. Yeah, that's literally how it always
precisely
goes.
healer or a character that can hit twice in one turn? Like that's massively overpowered. And here's the biggest issue: you don't have access to the your items during combat.
Yeah,
So
I thought that was a weird trope or whatever they chose to do that. Like I didn't know why they did that.
you, if you don't have a healer, which they give you after the first area in the game, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
And if your healer is dead, you're out of luck. You can't revive unless you have a character that can revive, which is again locked behind Gakka mechanic. Um, and the worst part is you need to find some big tough boss to get to get loot.
Yeah.
Okay, so that boss is, let's say, level 40. You know what you can do? You can go to your friend list, hit up someone that's literally level 80, pick that person, and have that person close to solo the the level for you, and you got your loot.
Yeah, I've had experiences like that.
It
That's another gotcha mechanic game where they let you pull your friends in for
it
attack
def-
sessions on certain
it
things.
it defeats your own mechanics though.
I mean,
I'm supposed
that's just for some reason that's just how they structure them. Like I've played about 6 or 7 games with that same principle, and that's always like possible. Like I've had people literally on my friends list that can one shot like certain bosses on stuff that was hard for me.
That's so terrible.
I mean, I know,
It
but that's the way they design
um
them. They want to entice you to get just as strong as they are.
so yeah, about that, I'm enjoying it so far. I did buy a few games, lots in discount. One of them, so very quick, I'm gonna look up my list, what I bought, cause first of all, One Piece, Pirate Warrior 4. I know, it's unfair, not unfair, it's like, it's a given. But this one, especially with Gear 5, I wanna see how it plays. I played Greek, I bought Greek, Memories of Azure, I bought Last in Random, I bought Ari and the Secret of Season. I'm super excited to play that.
I heard Lost in Random was really good.
I heard
Did, did,
so.
didn't you already play that one?
No. Um.
Oh, thought
I
you did.
played. I bought Scarlet Nexus and Tales of Arise combined.
Finally.
Right?
Combined for €30. That's a steal
Damn, yeah,
by
that's a good
itself.
deal.
I bought One Piece Pirate Warrior 4. I bought Dusk Diver. And I bought the one that you told me not to. The one that you told me even if you played it for
Mass
free,
Effect
you wouldn't get it.
Andromeda.
Yeah, for that
Uh,
for €6. I'm like, okay,
uh,
stay. You can stay. But
You know what? It wasn't terrible.
I'm super excited to jump in with all these games, but I'm still busy with Hanko Tare. But yeah, that's about it. Like I've been so busy with Honkai that I haven't done anything else otherwise. Mind you, I still have Forspoken, including the DLC, so I still need to play that. So lots of games to play. Which is why when I see people like you playing Power Wash and stuff like that, I get confused.
Dude, you're
I still
playing
have
a
to finish
gacha game.
Hogwarts because
You
I
you
gotta.
can't tell me what to play.
One person at a time. What, Weeb? What?
You're playing a gacha game. You have absolutely no ruby cards.
I'm playing a
You got a
gacha
point.
game. I thought it was finished.
got him, coach.
And what did you say, Nelson?
I was saying I haven't finished Hogwarts because I got an error. I should have made multiple saves, but I got a glitch that's pretty rare where I couldn't start missions and it kept freezing all the time. So, and I was like level 38.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, I was
Dang,
like
you were
50
mad
hours into that
far.
bitch.
You
Yeah,
had
I
to
was mad
restart,
far.
right?
That
I
sucks.
Huh?
remember you had to restart, right?
Yeah, I gotta restart, so I
Yeah, I
put it to the
remember
back
you
burner.
tweeting it out. I remember you
I
tweeting it
was
out.
pretty
So,
upset. I
yeah, I
was
can
like
imagine.
2/3 the way through that game, you know what I mean? Like, game, I'm like 2/3 through it, and
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah, I was pretty
you
upset.
were almost there.
Yeah, especially with
Yeah.
how this open world is. Ooh,
Yeah,
I
the
feel you, bro.
Yeah, I was doing all the side stuff first, so I was kind of like
dang.
finishing up the side stuff and then a couple story things, you know what I mean? And then I gotta start all over. I was pretty upset.
Bro,
Trust
I
me,
looked it up,
I
man. It
had
was
like
less than 1% of players that got it, so
yeah, there were a few weird things like that. I know certain people had issues with like the broom or little stuff like that, but again, it
yeah,
was
I'd
like
be
so
flying on the
low.
broom and it start like stuttering, like I go stop. I'm like, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one
And
major
then I go
issue
up to the
like that.
lady,
So, yeah.
like side mission.
Mhm.
Like side missions, I was like, okay, because keep in mind I'm almost 60 hours into the game, no issues, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's freezing all the time, and I'm going up to start a mission. I'm like, okay, here's where I'm supposed to be. Why can't I talk to her? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? And they're all like that. I
Oh
was like,
man.
wow,
Yeah,
this
that
is.
don't get me wrong. You got that sinking feeling like I did when I was playing Jedi Fallen Order because I refused to play Survivor before I played Fallen Order, and I hated the map. Like Morgan will tell you, she can attest in the chat. I bitched and complained the entire time I played Jedi Fallen Order, and I got about halfway through the game, and there's a scene that's supposed to trigger where you're supposed to get locked up, and I passed the area, and it didn't happen, and I was just trying to find out like what the hell did I do wrong? Like it keeps telling me to go back to the planet, go back to the planet, and I was like, it's not progressing to the next part, and it was this rare error, and that game was already fully patched, like
I
there's no
know
more
where you
patches.
are. Let me go. It's that big beast, right?
Well, this isn't a beast. This is your first bounty hunter. You fight a bounty hunter,
Oh, okay. Never mind.
and
Oh, okay. I
he's
know
supposed
it.
to basically fight you. You're supposed to lose and then get locked up, and it didn't happen. Like I got there, I beat like some basic stormtroopers or something, and then I just walked out and I left. And then I had to start the entire. There's nothing I could do. I tried reloading my saves that were further back. I tried everything, and I had to restart. And then when I got to that part again and it triggered, I was like, "You gotta be shitting me!" Like this
Yeah.
didn't trigger at all, and it was like a huge thing, and
Quick
a lot of people ran
question.
into it.
Would you not have multiple save files, especially you?
No, I did, but it didn't matter. Is that
Oh,
playthrough was just bugged, like from the jump. Like it didn't matter. So even though I had multiple saves, it still it just corrupted the whole save. So I went way
mm,
back, like before I even came back to that place, and I did the mission again on that planet, and it still didn't trigger. So I had to just start over.
okay. So,
Yeah.
let's jump into the topic because we have one big one and the rest is all small talk. I have a question. Anyone here heard of Yukai Studio?
No.
So apparently, this studio released a game called uh, Stray Souls, and it's their literally first project, and it just got released this year, I think. And they just announced that they're closing the studio down.
I mean, that sucks. I
Okay.
mean,
It's literally their first project, and it's closing down. It's
Yeah.
Sucks.
upsetting.
What happened?
it does happen. I mean, a lot of studios start up and then they don't quite make it, and that's the call right there. I mean,
It's crazy.
The same thing happened to the studio, and they made a game that I actually loved, which was the studio behind I can't remember the name of it right now. The one of the baseball player, he backed them. Um, Kingdoms of Amalur. Um,
Oh, Kingdom of
Oh yeah.
Amalur. Okay, I played it.
yeah, I love that game.
Uh,
I have the
did
platinum
they
for it.
also not
Everything.
cost too much to develop,
Well, it
and
costed a ton, and they couldn't make it. They didn't make it back.
they
So
didn't make? They actually lost a ton of money on that one. Okay,
yeah,
I see.
but it was, again, that's a perfect example of a game that like was good. It was received well, and they just didn't make enough money.
They just
And
didn't make money. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So another topic. Um, Arcane Blade game is gonna run on Deathloop and Dishonored 2 Void Engine. Any thoughts on that?
good luck to them.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a question. If it's running on the engine, it's also gonna get the same janky, glitchy, terrible enemy.
Not
Cause
necessarily the AI itself will be bad, but I mean,
AI,
yeah, that's not necessarily the case. But I mean, it's all in how they program it differently this time around, if they do. And I mean, personally, like I said, people have a much higher view of Arcane than I do, and I don't care which studio it is, Leon or the other one. Um, I've just run into too many issues while playing their games, including Dishonored, that are just weird, that shouldn't happen, that cause the game to get on my nerves. So yeah, I mean, good luck to them. I mean, I hope they knock it out the park. I mean, I want a good Blade third person Blade game. Um, but yeah, on the same engine, I don't know, because I'm just not a fan of what they've done so far with it. So, but I mean, that's what they got at their disposal. So hopefully they kill it.
Imagine
okay.
making it first person.
Nelson, do you have any interest in this new Blade game? And
Dude,
what
if they would have
about
said it in software something was making that, but I ain't never liked not a single arcane game I've ever played. Like I do not like them at all. And they haven't really had a hit since Dishonored 1. Like they're like 0-4 with the last 4, so
Yeah.
so you're gonna wait on it and see how it is. Okay.
I'm probably not
Um,
gonna play it. I mean, if there would have been a
uh,
different developer that I had some confidence in, like they always do good with like critics or whatever, but nobody ever plays their game. So
ouch. Okay, I see. I
like
see.
like the first Dishonored sold almost like 6 million, which is really good. They haven't had a 3 million seller since.
Yeah.
We? What about you?
Fuck Arcane. These motherfuckers got to make a Prey game while they actually canceled the real Prey 2. I'll never forgive them for that, even though it's not their fault, but still.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um.
like I said, I just don't. I'm just not all that favorable uh of them personally. Like I said, I mean, if I like I said, I'll give them all the hope in the world. And people saying, just let them cook. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, I let them cook about 6 games before, and I didn't like none of them hoes. So, um, like, I don't know what letting them cook now
That's
is gonna do,
exactly where
but
I'm at.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many times you got to eat somebody's cooking before you're like, look, motherfucker, you just can't cook. Just let me get the fuck out the kitchen. Let me handle it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like
Hey,
that's where I'm at.
Like
Hey,
Deathloop, 10 out of 10. I'm playing. I'm like 10 out of 10.
Bro,
Man, get the fuck out of
10
here.
I
We
that
do
was
not
I
eat
the
the same
biggest
restaurants.
lie in
so
all of
I
gaming.
have
10 out of 10.
That game is like a
zero.
6.5.
I have
Fuck out of here.
I have zero idea how it it either won GOTY. Did it win GOTY? Or it was
I don't think it
nominated for
actually
GOTY?
won, but it was
Was
nominated for some
nominated.
places.
It
It
was
Yeah,
was nominated
nominated
for
yeah.
GOTY. And it won a few awards. And it was actually
over
well received.
Returnal and a lot of too.
Yeah. Over Returnal, let that get sink in. Um my, and with the AI is so bad in Deathloop. Like I watch videos of people
All
playing
those
it.
games are there. I put like 40 hours into it, 50 hours. I couldn't bring myself to finish the game though. It was just like I can't do this anymore.
Hmm.
I, I
Okay.
d- something about those graphics, that art style just doesn't appeal to me.
The
Yeah.
art style is just
Never.
I
horrendous.
mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like One Piece. The art style can
Their
grow on
audio
you.
stuff is really good, but
Omar, not everything is like One Piece.
No. I'm talking about it can be like One Piece in sense of the visual the art style can grow
One
on you.
Piece has fantastic art style. Omar, shut
No,
the fuck
some
up.
people are not a fan of it, but they
Yeah, some
are a
people are
fan of the
idiots.
story. So it's gonna be all about the gameplay with this game. Okay, let's say the gameplay is
Yeah, but
fire.
I fucking loathe the gameplay of Dishonor, so I have no idea
Ah,
why I would love
interesting.
this.
So it's gonna be a double no for you. Uh-huh. I
I
see.
mean, I have an Xbox with Game Pass, so probably I'll give it a
This
try. But
dude gonna game
I
pass it. Okay, I see. I
yeah, I
see.
mean, but I have no hopes for this one.
I'm gonna wait on the gameplay. I'm gonna actually give them the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, you
Who
want a
knows?
demo, right?
With play with
I can
Xbox.
always be convinced. I can always be convinced, but I mean, there's certain like Insomniac. Like, yeah, I'm gonna buy your stuff regardless. If you burn me, we'll come cross this bridge again. But when you've burnt my ass 5 times in a row, no, I'm not gonna go out and get excited for your shit. You gotta prove to
Okay,
me now.
that's fair. Moving on with the next topic. So moving forward, multi-platform and worldwide simultaneous release is a key strategy for Tegra. A new entry in the Persona series will also be multi-platform and worldwide simultaneous release. So another IP the PlayStation have lost now.
So wait,
Which one?
did you ever find that in the wording? Because I still didn't see that.
Mm,
He implied that from what he read, but they never actually mentioned that Persona would be coming out and be multi-platform. He
so
said
let's
that.
wait and see them. I
Yeah.
think metaphor by itself uh, paints a good picture.
I mean,
What's gonna
I'm not
happen
saying
with?
it's not likely. I mean,
I feel you. I feel
Morgan
you.
has
You're
said
waiting
so
for
on
confirmation.
multiple occasions, but we've also seen where like, Xbox also got Crisis Core, but they still didn't get Final Fantasy VII. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Square and Sega are obviously two very
They
different
got
companies.
Octopath 1 and they didn't get either Final Fantasies.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's all over the place. So it's like now if they come forward and everything is multi-platform, then yeah, I mean I could see that. But I'm just saying that could be the one because we don't know what kind of deal PlayStation had in place. Like PlayStation's got deals in places like people don't even know about.
Yeah, we
And
know about that one.
yeah, they could have had the same kind of deal going where it's like Final Fantasy VII remake, right? And they had that obviously locked down for years and years and years. There's no telling if they had Persona locked down specifically. So you're getting all these other ones and these remakes and stuff like that, which can go over because the time frame has dissipated, but they could have the next named version exclusive. I mean, if it's not, whatever, but um, yeah, I mean, long as they don't sell out, entirely, like I'm good. I don't really care.
Let's wait and see with this one then.
Yep.
Um, since it's let's wait and see, how about we go to the next topic? Unless someone have anything else to say about this one. Okay. So Grand Theft Auto 6, I think? Yeah, 6. Hacker was sentenced to a life hospital prison order he is autistic and deemed mentally unfit for prison because that's why the hospital instead. They
What,
hacked.
what are you talking about?
So it's a hacker that hacked
Oh, the
Grand Theft
leaker.
Auto,
Okay, yeah.
and he got sent to life in prison. Life. Is that
What
not to say
really? That seems unlikely. Think
no?
you read that
It's
wrong.
literally life. It's literally life, but
So
not in
so
prison.
so so
Yeah,
what?
but life don't
So
always mean life. What it's like he's going to a hospital. So if they
yeah,
evaluate him and say like he's mentally stable now, that could be reduced.
that's what was
It's
actually
like
said.
depending mental evaluation. If you never get better, you're never leaving.
Yeah,
You
you're
know.
never leaving. Yeah.
I have, I have the feeling also they're gonna make an example out of him.
I mean, life in prison potentially. I mean,
He's already made an example out of everyone. I don't know if
yeah,
you heard, but while he was waiting for court, he hacked into him. He hacked into Rockstar while he was
Okay.
like awaiting trial already. So he don't give a fuck.
yeah, which is
Mm-hmm.
ultimately why
So
they deemed him unstable and they're sending him to a prison
Yeah,
shout out,
hospital.
yeah, yeah. Like I'm not gonna stop. Like you're on going to jail for this already. Like yeah, I ain't stopping.
shout out to Morgan. She said it's actually to be determined on his sentencing. I see. I to me this uh, is way too much, but I see now. Um, this we're gonna cut that. So very quick. Sony says it reached a new licensing agreement with Warner Brothers, and Discovery content will no longer be deleted and remain on PlayStation for at least the next 30 months.
Yay for the 5 people who bought Discovery content via their PlayStation. Like
Real talk, Morgan, that would be if I was an FBI, I would do so.
he's
If I
about to
was
disappear and be
Rockstar,
recruited. Yeah, yeah, Morgan's got the right idea.
I was
If you're that
hired.
skilled, yeah, they're like, "Look, we got a deal. You can't refuse."
Yeah, like he
Right?
hacked
He's
it
only
with
18. He ain't even peak yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He,
so
like
other
some
people
country's gonna be like trying to get a hold of him. Like we need you to hack into China's goddamn network security and let us know what they're up to. You know what I mean?
okay. Anyone have anything else to say about this whole Paramount with not Paramount with
Nope.
the Discovery Channel?
Omar,
Okay,
no.
okay. So again, quick. China set to ban gacha games from
Good.
compulsive
Fuck that games.
gambling practices. I hope this extends over to other countries. As much as I'm
Really? So
enjoying,
don't want to play Honkai?
I would absolutely drop Honkai. Like as much as I'm enjoying the story and the gameplay, the 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 dependence
This
on
man out here
money,
wants the government to ban the game because he can't stop playing.
the dependence on money shouldn't be the case. I actually believe you should be able to get every single character if you do some quests or stuff like that. Like that should be it. And if you wanna level it up further, like start it, then put that in gacha. Why would I be loyal, Morgan? I'm just playing a gacha game. I'm enjoying it, but that's about it. Like I would drop it in a heartbeat. Um, anyone have anything else to say about this whole gacha game?
I might be old, but I like to just pay for my games, and if there's cosmetics and shit, I don't care. But I want all my game in the game.
I feel you.
Cosmetics and shit don't bother me, but like as long as everything's on the same playing field and stuff like that, and I can get every character and every gun and whatever color it is. If you want to pay for that, that's cool. I don't care.
So this topic, I'm actually going to you, Nelson, because you're the one that commented on it. So the dev behind Firewall Ultra blames the lack of virtual reality support for closure because they closed down. Um, and then you chime in and you say, no disrespect, but the way it launched is the reason. So can you elaborate on that? Because I don't have a VR.
Yeah, I do have mine went into the shop recently because my wife brought a foreign animal home. I'm not gonna get into the story, but it'll be back on Monday. But I didn't get it, or I wasn't gonna get it because the couple people that bought it told all the other people like it's fucked up, like the network's fucked up, it don't work half the time, stuff like that. So there was a lot of people that I know that was really excited for that game that didn't buy it because it's all fucked up.
So then this
So
goes to oh what? We wanna say something?
No.
Okay. This goes to me to one quality of control. Where's PlayStation is that? Because they work with this developer, and if I'm correct, this is an exclusive game to PlayStation, right? VR.
Sony published it.
So one, where is quality of control for this one? And two, this showed me that PlayStation is not even that serious about VR, which they seem to be making the same mistake they made with the first VR. They released it to the public and called it a day. Am I wrong on this one? Nay?
I don't know. They're promoting it and they're doing a lot of things for VR and getting a lot of games. But the problem is, like, if you're gonna publish something, you need to
Yeah,
send someone
precisely.
over there to check this out.
This is the same mistake that oh no, that this is one actually Crossfire X that Microsoft published, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not quite to that extent. The game was still good at least, but
But the difference is Microsoft PlayStation is having this exclusive and also it's on their VR.
it's published
Which
by them too. So I mean, they
yeah,
would have the authority to send. They could have sent over a tester and stuff like that, and you know,
which it makes you
someone to
wonder
evaluate the game
are,
before shipping because your name's on that box too.
are they even that serious about VR?
I don't know.
It it it's certainly mind-boggling.
Are
We
are you really just gonna make that statement based on one game?
yeah not
Well, it's the only one they've only published like two, so they're 1 for 2 right now. You know, that ain't really a great record.
yeah, and I have seen a lot of people say that they're missing out on a ton of games that are going to uh um that
Meta,
Valhalla
that's
game.
something that's something they can't do nothing about because that's made by Meta. They're not gonna put that on PSVR, their competitor.
I mean, they can.
No.
You're not gonna put it on your competitor's platform. That's
The Valhalla one.
uh, yeah, Asgard's Wrath or whatever.
Yeah, that looked real
Yeah,
good.
that's made by
That's
Meta.
something I would play.
That's their direct competitor. They want people to buy a Meta. They don't want them to buy a PSVR.
hmm
It's not third
Which
party.
I,
It's first party for them.
I have also seen people complain like, where is Half-Life Alex? Like that.
That's all. That's also made by Valve, who has their own headset, which they want you to buy off of Steam because they own it.
I mean, they can always come to an agreement, right?
Omar, Jesus
I
Christ.
guess, but if you want someone to buy, if you got a PC and a PlayStation, you don't want them to buy a PSVR. You want them to buy your, what is it, Valve Index or whatever.
Omar,
So
that's like asking why does Xbox not have God of War?
yeah, that's exactly what it's the same concept.
hmm
I mean, Valve, I could see being amenable at some point because
Yeah, it,
ultimately their thing works with any PC VR headset. I mean, they do have their own, but it works with any the
yeah,
same
that'd be a
way
little
they
more.
also made
That's a
Portal.
little
But
more.
yeah, if the other place is made by
The
Meta, then
the
yeah,
Meta, they
then
don't want
yeah.
you to buy in the. You can bring it anywhere. You don't need anything with it. So they're like super direct competitor because regardless if you have a PlayStation or not, you just buy the headset and you can play it. So
hmm
Yeah,
they
I
don't want
I
agree.
have my
you.
own
Most people aren't
gripes
gonna
with
buy
them though.
both. But
My main issue with them is just the speed at which the headset seems to keep changing. Is like I was like, the Quest 2 had like just came out, and it's like already we're on like the next headset. It's like, all right, so when are we gonna come out with one you guys are gonna stick with for more than 5 minutes? Like,
Let's
that's
talk.
my real question.
I'm glad that you guys corrected me because I know nothing about VR, and I was just talking about what I'm seeing. So it's way better to have someone like you guys that actually play the game than me that's just talking about it.
Yeah, well, that's because you hear everyone else talking about it, and I've told a couple other people it's like these are direct competitors. Most of these are. It's just like why isn't Call of the Mountain on MetaQuest? You know what I mean?
I see.
Or why
Anyway,
isn't Fireware Ultra on?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's because PlayStation makes it. They're not gonna put it on the direct competitors platform. You know what I mean?
Anyway, what's your thoughts on PlayStation literally publishing a VR game and not doing quality control
With what? With which game? Like, what are you talking about?
with um Firewall Ultra?
I mean, I'm not gonna say they didn't do quality control because I know people who play it that love the game. It's just, I mean, it's not something I was
The
personally
network
interested
had
in.
issues though. A lot of people did. So a lot of people didn't get it, especially the first few weeks when people would have been getting it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I
I'm
didn't
just
get.
going
I
off of
didn't
what other
even.
people said about it. The
I
game
didn't
was
get it.
good, but
Yeah,
they were like
yeah. The few
people
people I
that bought
know, the
that I
few
know
people
bought
I
it.
know that had
That's
it,
why
they
I didn't
liked
buy
it.
it.
So
Make a question, Chuck.
Oh, they like the
What
game, but
happened?
you you want to play with other people, and there's network issues. If you play by yourself, you're good. But that's kind of one of those games that it's like Call of Duty's still good, but think if you couldn't play in a group of friends. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I
Mm,
mean,
let's
I ain't
make a
even. I ain't
question.
even gonna
That's an
argue that
that's gonna significantly impact your sales.
because Call of Duty right now pisses me off with their 60 plus MS ping on a competitive shooter that people just be casually glossing over because it's Call of Duty. Like 60 MS ping is not okay in a competitive shooter. That's not even
So,
close.
um, moving on with this one, I'm gonna actually go to Xbox and Japan, and we're gonna start with two articles that kind of paint a picture that maybe Xbox Japan is not that much of a fan of Xbox. First, we have the Japanese publisher Nihon.
The whole planet outside of the United States is not a fan of Xbox.
We have the Japanese publisher Nihon Falcom. They only see future in PlayStation and Nintendo for future growth. Not even PC.
I mean, I don't think they don't count listing
Uh,
PC as like a
They're not a they're.
yeah, PC's like a
It's
other
not a
platform.
platform.
Yeah, it's not a platform like that to them.
It's like an
So
app.
yeah,
It's like Android. You know, it can go on
okay,
anything. An LG, whatever.
so
Yeah,
they're
but
saying them
a lot of their games
supporting.
are on PC.
yeah, because their games are on PC. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
from what I'm reading the comment, I have zero information about it. Them supporting PS5 shouldn't be a surprise. Is 10 sold more on PlayStation than Switch in Japan, even though they had the marketing and a much higher install base. Falcom deserve to be supported though. They make great games. I played a
That,
few issues and I enjoyed them.
I mean, they
Um,
make the Trails of Cold Steel and the rest of the Legend of Heroes whole thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm all about them.
I
so
like Ys better than Final Fantasy right now. So
So someone clapped back.
yeah.
They saying they literally said Switch is their main platform, and that they have several Switch exclusive in development. So then the same person says this. Yeah, that's a shame. I thought they were done with exclusivity stuff. They were surprised with the sales of SF though. They thought it would be 50-50, but was 70% on PlayStation. So maybe they will eventually bring it over as they mistrust how important PlayStation still is. I doubt that. They're gonna want people to just buy Switches,
Mm,
especially with the next Switch that they're being developing for.
yeah,
And
I think a lot of that's up in the air because we don't we don't know. I mean, anything publicly about the next Switch or what they're dealing with that. Um, traditionally they almost always bring their games to PlayStation. Like if there's some sort of exclusive, then I think it would be like a new IP or something. I don't see them making like the Kisake or Trails of series like exclusive ever. Like that would be really weird.
It makes a question. So it makes a question. Is Nintendo more invested in Japan than PlayStation?
I mean, I think they're just
Of course they are. They should be.
yeah. I mean that's a big
They're a
spot
mobile.
for
They're a
them.
very mobile country.
Yeah, so it's like I mean, you're talking about they're also the ones that got Octopath out the ground and Live a Live and all that stuff working with Square. So I mean, yeah, I mean
I have
they haven't
what?
stopped recognizing how great working with a lot of the Japanese publishers can be for them. So
Mhm. I have a question. Is there any game that from Falcom on Xbox?
No, I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of.
yeah, not that I'm
So
aware of.
then this is Jim just doubling
Dude,
down.
they,
Then.
dude, they would sell like 12 copies. Are you kidding me?
Hey, you're underestimating it. 8 at best.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
okay. I'm overestimating.
they got it. They got it honestly, man.
They don't
It's
even buy Capcom games, dude.
yeah.
This this one is the more interesting, and this is actually what collaborated by the one and only creative copy. Uh, the one Japanese, the one that speaks Japanese, not the other one. So this tweet is breaking readers. Readers have noticed that Famitsu.com, Japan's largest and most popular gaming source, has removed the Xbox section from its homepage. I asked him to. I hit him up for confirmation, and he told me this. He told me I just went to the site, and there is some partial truth to this. From the main site, there is a top banner for each piece of hardware this generation, and Xbox is not included. But the Xbox tag is still very searchable and getting news for releases on that hardware as recently as the 19th. So either they're phasing it out or they making some changes to the website. Because it would be super interesting to see if Famitsu actually distance themselves from Xbox, especially with Metaphor being having a lead role on Xbox, because it was revealed on Xbox Showcase. Do you guys think uh, Japan is gonna distance itself from Xbox, or do you think they're in to stay?
I
We might
mean,
actually see
I
Xbox
just
buy.
think that Famitsu realized they just don't haven't it's not necessary to have the tag, on the top. So they just removed it simply. It's not searched enough or it's not clicked enough. So they figure, like he said, it's easily searchable. So if you're specifically coming there looking for something based on it or a certain game, like you can still find it. So I mean, it's a interesting decision to just flat out remove it, but I also get it because I mean, in Japan, like they've barely sold, any amount. So
They actually phased out anything Xbox related in their shop, in their shop. So we know Xbox got digital and stuff like that, but especially with you trying to break in a market, would you not want to put more effort in marketing and also improving and having physical copies and stuff like that?
you said, wouldn't you want that?
Yeah,
I mean,
like
yeah,
if
but
I'm Phil Spencer,
I think Microsoft, despite all that that Seraband Edesu bullshit, from them standing on stage with that nonsense, they recognize like it doesn't matter how much you do. Like there's just a certain stigma on Xbox over there. People just simply, if they don't want it, they don't want it. Like you can't force people to want it. And being the Me Too product is not gonna get you that. And this is
Okay.
something that I explained to somebody the other day. Like why, if those are your interests, right? The Persona 3s and even the Euden Chronicles, right, which they got for Game Pass. Those are two games. You're not going to go out and buy an Xbox because they got those on Game Pass specifically.
Mm,
Just so you're not going to go spend $350 to $500 to play that game via Game Pass when you could just purchase those games. That's why I said that it's nice for the rest of the world and for fanboy bragging rights from Xbox people who are not playing these games. But being like having I can do that too doesn't mean anything. The question
okay.
is, and I'll tell you because when my nephew asked me originally when he wanted a PlayStation, he was like, "Well, can I play this and can I play that?" And he goes, "Well, what do you have and why do you have it?" And he was like, "Well, his ultimate thing was where can I play? Can I play Call of Duty there? Can I play Spider-Man? Can I play Fortnite?" Like so here's the things that are everywhere, Fortnite, so on and so forth. At the time, Microsoft was the only console where you could play Roblox. But again, he doesn't care because Roblox you could play on his phone. And most of the time
Mm-hmm.
they prefer to play something like Roblox on their phone, um, and so on and so forth. And now that's on PlayStation. So it's like as much as PlayStation is losing some of these, a few of these exclusives, um, that Microsoft is now picking up and partnering with, it doesn't change the fact that the majority of those players are going to be on PlayStation and going to support it on PlayStation. Like, there's a reason why Persona 3 and all that shit is on Game Pass because they ultimately know that's the only way they're going to drum up any sort of engagement. But I've seen this tagline where people are like, well, why don't they put it every time? There's always somebody in the comment section. There's somebody in the comment section for the Falcom thing. You can't grow a player base if you don't put it there. But it was like sometimes you just got to
Is that
accept
true? I
that.
just got into use a few years ago.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. But they're like, you can't grow it if it's not on Xbox. Like if someone's an Xbox fan, and to me that I always thought that was a stupid statement though because I'm like, if you were a gamer and something you wanted was on that other platform, you would play it and you would find a way to get it. Like that doesn't make any sense to me that like that specific thing you're tied to, you have some weird loyalty to the specific box that you're like, "Oh, I'm not going to play it." Like that didn't make any sense to me. So I was like, you're not real to me that tells me you're not really interested in the game. Like
Mm-hmm.
if GTA
What's funny is almost
was
every one of these
exclusive, I'd
Xbox
play it
fans
there.
have a PlayStation 2 and they could buy it, but they don't.
Well, yeah, exactly. A lot of them do have a PlayStation, which is another thing that a lot of people get caught lying about. They're like, "Oh, I don't play it,"
I
or
sold
"I
my
borrowed my cousin
PlayStation
Larry's."
10
And then they
times.
say
Yeah.
I only got my PlayStation for exclusives. Well, it's like, well, yeah, but you still have one, don't you?
But you still
And
have
you're
one.
complaining that you can't play this or that game, but obviously you can.
Okay. Moving on from this topic, unless someone has anything else to say about this one. Okay. So for the people that don't want to hear anything Insomniac related, you're free to leave right now. I'm not gonna talk about Wolverine, uh, what we they leaked. I'm not gonna talk about anything other than sales data, new games that being worked on, and roadmap. And that's about it. And if you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. If not, see you next week. Hopefully, if we're doing so. And enjoy your holidays. With that being said, Insomniac got hacked, and this is my biggest issue they got hacked. We have had multiple times that PlayStation internet infrastructure is not that great. My question is, could this hack been prevented or no? No, I said get out if you don't want to be spoiled. That's it. I gave the people a warning if they don't
Oh,
want to be
yeah.
spoiled. That's
Omar,
about it.
the answer to the question is yes and no, because yes, any hack can be prevented because it's a matter of following procedures, but the answer is also no, because it's all too easy to get hacked. Like, even if you're an IT company, even if you're into IT security, the weakest link is always
The user.
the user. Exactly. Like, I've experienced it myself. Like, I've worked for IT companies. I've seen companies getting hacked because they forgot to deactivate users that were no longer working for their company, and somehow that password got, got accessed by a hacker, and they were able to get into their systems. I mean, it's all too easy, to get hacked, and it's unfortunate, but there's the only thing you can do is make sure that everybody follows the proper procedure, and of course you have your security up to date. But I know that you can be certain that Insomniac had proper security, but they still got it. And sure, they're going to revise their procedures right now, and they're going to hire some external experts to vet all their systems, make sure that this doesn't happen again. But this is an arms race, right? There's as soon as you found ways to uh,
They're always coming up
close
with
the gaps.
something new. It's a
Exactly,
reactive.
exactly. They
It's a
find
reactive
new.
thing.
Exactly. And it's not just a matter of finding vulnerabilities, but also social hacking, like phishing, like that wasn't something we had to worry about a couple of decades ago, but now it is, and they're getting so insanely clever that they're sending WhatsApp messages, spoofing your phone number and pretending, oh hey, hello, I'm your son or whatever. Can you please wire me some money? So it's a war basically, and every time you gain an advantage, or you are able to defeat their tactics, they come up with something new, and like I said, the only way you can prevent it, but it is always, you have to stay vigilant, and you have to make sure that your software is up to date, you have the proper infrastructure, but also follow procedures. I mean, and it's all too easy. Like, you have to change your passwords. You have to make sure they're protected. You have to have proper user management. And the thing is, like, it's all too easy to forget that, or to lose track of that. Um, so, like I said, it's an answer of yes and no. Like in the perfect world theory, you could have prevented this, and like I don't know in detail, how they got in, what their vulnerabilities are. That it could be that they had maybe some systems in place that weren't up to date, or some procedures that weren't uh, um, really secure. But in the end, like, it takes one user, or one person in the company, who proverbially opens the wrong email, and they're in. So it is all too easy to get hacked. And the only I think the choice they've made, I think that they choose not to pay. I mean, that's generally what they
That
advise.
was about to be my next topic, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's basically the same topic, but like they chose
I
not to pay,
mean, the next talking
but
point. My bad.
I don't know, but it is it is like standard procedure, like law enforcement, governments, they all of us don't pay, because if you do, you're essentially saying, okay, yeah, look, it pays, right, to do this. You're funding their their criminal enterprise to go ahead and keep doing this again.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah,
I have
that
a question
They
then.
basically open the door to all cybersecurity people saying, "Yo, they paid, so let's go hack them because we'll definitely get money out of them."
Okay, I see. My question then becomes, if let's say they paid, was there ever a guarantee that they would have gotten the stuff back or no?
it's not a matter of getting it. Yeah, if it was a ransomware attack, like I don't think this was a I'm not sure if it was a ransomware attack is when they essentially encrypt all your data and say, okay, yeah, if you want to get access again, then you have to pay up. It I'm not sure if it was a ransomware attack or they just said like pay us or you release the data, and they didn't, and so yeah, like it's not in that regard getting anything back because it's already out there. I think so the damage is already done there.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, the
Okay,
reason you don't pay is because ultimately you have no guarantee if they release it or not. So
so
just
Yeah,
that's
don't
what
pay.
I'm talking about. You can pay and they could still release it. Because
Exactly.
it's not like they got 1 gigabyte. They got 1 terabyte of information.
Yeah, they could be like, oh, well, you paid us 2 million, but that was only not now. Okay, now we know you'll pay, so we won't release the Wolverine footage. But now let's
We're
get to
gonna
your
release
now let's
something
get to
else.
your personnel data, and
Yeah.
it's 2 million for that now because you took too long to respond to me. You see what I'm saying? It's just gonna
Also,
turn into a bunch of exploiting.
they can make copy of everything.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like
Not
there's
only
no
that, but every
guarantee.
cyber terrorist on the planet's gonna be like, "Yo, they're getting paid. Why are we trying to hack into these guys when these guys are paying?"
Yeah, you
Mm,
essentially paying is just absolutely a hell no.
yeah. It's a a nightmare for Insomiac, especially because they almost feel like they are beloved, but at the same time, their games have never won a GOTY award.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it is what it is. I mean, let's set the record straight though, because this is a misconception from a lot of people. Thousands of companies get hacked like this per year. Thousands. I'm
Banks
talking,
get
well,
hacked every. There's a bank getting hacked right now.
yeah, like
so
banks,
the only reason this
hospitals,
is news is because
is
it's
because it's gaming related.
uh-huh.
That's the only reason they're reporting it. Like, I'll give you for instance, the last time PlayStation, well, it was Sony. It wasn't even PlayStation, but Sony. That those emails got out from those execs, like that was all that came out. While people were running their mouths about that, there was a hack the week prior that Microsoft was responsible for the security of a hospital, and over 10,000 patients' data got out, and personnel was confiscated.
Talking about hospitals, this group that hacked PlayStation, Insomniac, they also hacked hospitals.
But that's what I'm
So
saying. Like these people, it's not a one size fits all. Like they're going for everybody. Like
these
they
were
don't care.
not only pros, Insomniac was just simply a target.
Yeah, I mean
There
they're
is,
just one of. Like they probably
yeah,
already hit up three other people. Like these people, like we've said, and this is how it is, right? The moment you devise a way to protect something, someone's figuring out how to break it immediately.
mhm.
This is why
Okay.
they have tests and all this other stuff they try to do to try to see if they, companies, you'll see companies hire or have like a hiring thing where they're like, hey, if anybody can break into this, we'll give you 100 grand. You know what I'm saying? Because they're
PlayStation
trying to
actually
test
has
it.
that. They have a rewards program. If you hack into them and report it, they have a rewards program for that. But the problem,
Yeah.
there's so many
So
different ways to do it.
Nelson, one of your people is here. What a winner.
Well,
What a winner.
marijuana, cool.
Um, Going back to it, for me, what feels interesting is not interesting. It's a shame that happened, and at first I wanted PlayStation. So basically, I was blaming PlayStation for their
Lack of security.
security.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, but hearing from you and we, I understand how it is, and it's just a case of suck to suck. Like there is no way to go around it. You're not gonna be able to outsmart every single hacker, and at some point, yeah. Hmm.
They could just hack someone's phone and you had your stuff set, your passwords and shit saved on there that allowed you to get into or mirrored your phone, and a high enough employee with that access, boom, you're into it. Your public domain.
I think you. Okay, I feel you, but is there not a way to find out when someone you don't know have access, gained access to your stuff? Like 1 terabyte. Wait, 1 second. One second. Priscilla is saying audio not working in it. Your mic. I
Oh, I
can't.
know what it is. I got it. But yeah,
Okay.
so like I said, like just like you said, like can you know somebody has access? Yeah, eventually, but a lot of times it's too late, right? Like people discover it and then they're like,
20 minutes.
yeah, they're like,
Yeah, they're already in and have everything
yeah,
within a
they've
matter
got
of
everything.
less than an hour.
Like in a world where you know gigabit internet is prevalent everywhere, and these places are gonna have like the best of the best, like like I said, there's so many things. Like sometimes there's stuff that you didn't even do that could get you exploited. Like there was one specific CPU at one point that had a back door in it since it released for like 3.5 years, and anybody who knew about it could access your PC remotely until they finally patched it. But they didn't know for like 3.5 years after they launched the CPU. So as long as that stayed quiet, anyone who had that CPU in their computer was vulnerable to anyone
Hmm.
who knew how to access it via that exploit. Like that's this kind of stuff I'm talking about. So you can do all the right things, have all the right people in place. Now, yeah, I mean, if you've got the full on team of the year, like yeah, you could probably prevent it. I mean, during the mega brute force attack that happened that originally got PlayStation down for a long time. That one time, the only people who didn't get hit and actually go down at that time was Lockheed Martin, which is a defense contractor here in the United States. So
So
you're talking about
literally,
the
when they.
military level security, like, and
Hmm.
you just can't do that in a facility that's for public people to work. There's a thing, I forgot what they call it, but there's basically there's a issue between security for your company versus convenience, right? Um, like working in IT, this is the stuff I run across all the time, right? How often do you make your employees change their passwords? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like, is it every 3 months? Is it every 3 weeks? How sensitive is your data? Uh, how many times a year do you put out the policy for security? Um, don't put USB drives in your work computer. Don't do like all these little things that people hate. Like people want to be secure, but they don't want to deal with security. That makes sense. Like I don't want to have to worry
Hmm.
about changing my password for the 57th time. I don't want to. People complain about two-step authentication. Why do I always have to use my stupid phone? Like people hate all these things, but these are the things preventing them from getting hacked. But like that's what I'm saying. Like it's like you have all these people who don't want to do this stuff that work for you, but it's like that's the only way you're gonna have preventative measures in place.
I see. Um, Okay, with this, how do I say this? Going back to it, so almost what 1 week, not 1 week, 2 days, 3 days from the Insomniac hack, we found out that Ubisoft got hacked. Well, they tried to hack Ubisoft, but they didn't breach security. Thank God, because they were trying to steal private information, personnel information. So it's a nightmare. Um, in the leak, in the hack, I mean, first off, there is a playable Wolverine um, uh, test. I'm not sure if it's the full game or not, but I know a lot of it got leaked. Um, Other than that, there is information about PlayStation. There is roadmap on Insomnia, and let's jump to the roadmap, shall we? So the roadmap for Insomniac is one: a new Spider-Man game, Spider-Man 3, which if you played 2, you already knew. Um, a new game, X-Men, and they're working also on a new IP. And I'm not sure how confirmed is this. Anyone heard about Insomniac and Ghost Rider? Nobody.
Ghost Rider? Where did
Yeah.
this come from?
So apparently, I've seen a few people talk about Insomniac and Ghost Rider uh, might be working on a game for Ghost Rider.
I mean, I heard it
Well,
like
we've
in
seen the
passing.
roadmap, but
It's not on the roadmap though.
It's
Yeah.
not on a roadmap. It's something negotiation was being talked for the Ghost Rider IP to work on it.
Yeah. I
I don't
mean,
know how successful that would be or what kind of game that would be, but I don't really see that being. If you got to pay the licensing fee on that, I don't know if you're going to make your money back on a Ghost Rider.
yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, oh, you got to be real confident in that.
Ain't no way.
I mean, they did Spider-Man justice, not one but twice. No, not twice
Okay, but
but thrice.
Spider-Man's also 100 times more popular than Ghost Rider. Like if Spider-Man's like S tier, Blade's like B tier, Ghost Rider's like C tier.
So, Morgan says we don't know how old or relevant this roadmap is. For all we know, the plans have completely changed.
Yep. She's not
So,
wrong. Game development is
you,
very
That's
fluid.
true. They have the license X-Men, so you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna do something with it, but what they're gonna do with it could change
wait,
because
wait,
they haven't
wait,
started
wait.
development on a lot of these games.
Can you
Yeah.
can you repeat what you're saying? Cause you bought it.
See?
Yeah, you were
Oh,
breaking up for a second.
I'm saying they have the X-Men IP. That's obvious for a certain amount of time, and they're gonna have to pay on that. But the game that they're gonna make, they have planned in the future, could change to a completely different game or a character or whatever.
So the X-Men, the Marvel IP so far from what I've seen is until 2020 2035, I think. Which
Yeah.
makes you question: are they gonna be able to uh, extend it, or that's it? That's the end date. Because with Blade going to Xbox, it makes you question like
No,
Marvel and
they can look. To be clear, the licensing agreement is for the games that were on the roadmap. So Spider-Man, Wolverine, X-Men, and they have to release those games before 2035. That's the agreement. There's
mhm.
nothing in there that says, okay, we can extend that after 2035.
Yeah,
But it's just for the
precisely.
games that
And
they've announced. So it the three main Spider-Man games, and I'd say X-Men is probably. I mean, we treating it as separate IPs, but basically, I think the idea is Wolverine is sort of set up, and then X-Men and X-Men 2 is sort of forms a trilogy around Wolverine.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And one thing is, who knows, that new IP could always have been Ghost Rider or
Well,
Aquaman.
it's it's
Aquaman.
possible but I also I'm not sure if it means that they're already working on a new IP or if they said, okay, at that point in time we're going to
They
work
probably
on a
have
new IP.
ideas that they want to work on, but they don't. You can only work on so many games at one time.
Yeah, it's not solidified
Mhm.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently from from Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man 2, their studio have grown double in size. They went from 200 something personnel to 500, from what I have read.
I mean, it's a massive team. It's got to work on
Yeah,
such an amazing game. I mean,
I remember PlayStation opening a new a second studio for Insomniac, if I remember correctly. Um, with Insomniac being so big, and one of the criticisms that I've seen people, which I massively disagree with, is Insomniac is now the superhero studio. Is that a bad thing? Because
Nope.
not
the
if that's what they
biggest
want.
argument, the biggest
I mean,
argument,
considering my whole life, I had to wait like 20 years of gaming to get a really good Batman game since like the NES. I would say no. You know what I mean?
and
Spider-Man
look
was
what
good for a
happened to the
while
Batman.
and bad for 15 years. You know?
Look what happened to the Batman IP. Like Rocksteady is done with Batman. At least single player wise. Um, so the biggest
Yeah, but I
argument.
got 4 great games before that. I ain't had 4 great games the previous 25 years, and there was 100 Batman games. You know?
So the biggest argument I've seen is Insomniac is creatively bankrupt
Man,
because of
I ain't
things.
listening to these motherfuckers.
I know, I know, I
That's
know,
the
I know.
bullshit.
That's not an argument, Omar. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
No,
because
It's
if it
crazy.
the argument
because that's like saying it takes no creativity to create Spider-Man 2 because it's based
was
on Spider-Man.
crazy. If you
That's
played it, you
bullshit.
played it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you played it, you know that's bullshit. So
yeah.
these are just people that are jealous that
Yeah, and if it's so
we're
easy, then how
hating.
come the Activision's last 3 Spider-Man games were fucking horseshit before they lost the license?
There are few games from Activision I enjoyed. Like, if I remember correctly, Shattered Dimension was one. Um,
Other
so about
Shadows in the original PS1 game, that's about it.
I have yet to play that one, but I love Shattered Dimension and the Noir one. So going back to Insomniac, they want Insomniac to also make a new Ratchet and Clank, which they're doing, and I'm confused how they say that the game is not profitable when, in fact, it is profitable.
I mean,
So
you
It
can just
was it
stop even
wasn't
reporting that
it
it
was an
wasn't.
Yeah,
old
just stop, listening to
projection.
these echo chambers on the internet. These guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah,
the thing
the
that,
fact is it was profitable. Period.
Yeah.
The whole
It was
not
yeah,
profitable
so
thing doesn't
profitable
even
out the
exist.
gate.
Yeah.
so it made around 145 million, which crazy for a Ratchet game.
That's not that high of a budget game. I mean,
And
not to
I'm
mention,
super.
you got to remember when that came out, there was only like 15 million PS5s out in the wild, and you're not gonna sell 10 million copies of something when there's only 15 million available. It's just not realistic. But
I'm
it keeps selling over time, and it obviously sold more. It sold 1.2 million more copies than when it first released. So
Oh yeah.
I'm super happy with the sales, and I'm so super happy with the game. I enjoyed it. I wished something was different, but I got the plot, and I gave it a 9 out of 10. I had genuinely a blast with it, especially with the SSD mechanic. I enjoyed the new gameplay mechanic, and I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna do with it. One other thing that I'm genuinely curious what your guys' thoughts on is a project that, so far we know, is cancelled. I haven't seen anything else uh, say that's not cancelled, which is uh, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse game multiplayer. It was described as GTA mixed with Spider-Man. Would you guys have enjoyed something like that?
I'm all over it.
Is it confirmed to be cancelled?
Um, I'm gonna look it up right now, but so far I saw it said that's cancelled.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the cancellation. I heard about the premise for the game, and like I said, I'd be all over that because I'm ready to see all the spiders just all over these games. So I'm all about it. And being able to play co-op, hell yeah. Yeah,
So
I mean Morgan stated that hasn't been verified, and I
so
haven't seen it either.
so the cancellation um where is the official so and okay so according to the leak itself the cancellation um the leak reveals an online Spider-Man game from Insomiac was cancelled. The game was called Spider-Man The Great Web and was going to be an MMO title. Insomniac wanted to create a successful multiplayer franchise.
I mean,
Um,
it's a. I mean,
it
I see. That's why I was like, I would say we're just not sure because see, saying it's canceled, it could just be it changed because some things could have been they considered making an MMO of some sort and then just changed it to like a co-op online experience. Like, so we're just not really sure. So I don't think they would scrap the idea entirely, given how much the Spider Verse is looking to play a pivotal role in the game in the future. So we'll see.
mhm. Okay, so the reason why they saying it's cancelled because the game was cancelled as it isn't in any of the leaked release roadmap documents or the pitch was rejected. So that's an assumption. There is no genuine
That's what I'm
to
saying.
it.
People are
It's
assuming.
an
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Um, what
I'm not sure if that's correct because I did see pictures where they showed
Concept.
potential
The concept stuff.
multiplayer games for all three IPs.
so this one floored me. Insomnia game made just $567 of Sunset Overdrive.
Shout out to Xbox, man.
Was their cut. I think they got like
What?
8,000 in total, which means they sold like a couple hundred copies above the minimum that they had to be to reach their budget.
Yeah, man. Xbox.
I'm
The Xbox fans out there
actually
supporting, baby. What can we say?
I'm actually surprised they didn't go under.
Well, they wouldn't because since they're not first party, they can always do deals with someone else to publish their games. And
Cause,
outside of like 3 games that Insomniac has ever made, Sony published all of them.
'Cause even they made that game Brink, right?
No,
Either Brink,
Fuse.
some
Oh, they
other
didn't make
game.
Blank. They made Spyro and Ratchet and
No,
Clank, and
Fuse. I think it was
they're
called
almost all
Fuse.
PlayStation games.
It was
Fuse
it
was
was
made by, or that was published by someone else, yeah.
yeah, it was
And they made it
published by
another
EA.
VR game.
Yeah, that failed.
They've
Yeah,
only had
that's
like
right.
3 games published outside of PlayStation, like 3 or
Yeah.
4 unknown, hardly anyone's heard of.
So wait, did he got cut off?
No.
He muted
Just muted
himself.
himself.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Less than $600 for Sunset Overdrive. No wonder we haven't seen a second one.
Well, we can apparently because Microsoft owns
Well, they're owned by
publishing now.
PlayStation now, and yeah, I don't understand that publishing
What
rights
is
because Sony owns the
confusing
IP.
was that some people saying that PlayStation owns the IP, but Microsoft owns the publishing
Yeah,
right.
They're
those are two
different.
separate things because that they would have to go through Microsoft to publish the game.
I'm gonna keep it real.
So
I don't give a fuck if that game ever sees the light of day again, so long as I live and my grandchildren. So
so
yeah,
what
I didn't
about
like it
this?
either.
Apparently
I
there
mean,
is
it was okay, but I don't need a second one.
yeah,
I like the
from
exactly.
now
mechanics and stuff of the game, but the premise and stuff like that was just not interesting to
from
me. But
Yeah,
from now on I'm just gonna say rumors because with this leak you don't know what's fabricated, what's real. Um, another rumor is another game got cancelled, which is Resistance 4.
That wa-
Anyone
that
here is
that
a
was
Resistance fan?
like over a decade ago, so that doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
I mean, that's
Okay.
old news.
Now via the leak, we got information on what's the budget for Spider-Man 2, and people are losing their shit about that. Apparently, it's 350 million, and estimated save 75 million in profit after selling over 5 million in only 11 days. It's likely far exceeded those projections. Mind you,
Yeah.
apparently, in order for PlayStation to keep their deal with Marvel, they must sell what 6 million or something like
six
that.
million.
6 million total. I'm not sure in how many years or stuff like that, but in Spider-Man's already crushed it. I'm not gonna be surprised if Wolverine crushed it as well, because a lot of people want to play that game. And also there is a PC release for that one. And also Spider-Man 2 is gonna come to PC.
Yo, shout out to a random comment I seen though. Some people was talking trash about the Wolverine gameplay. Obviously, that's
I don't.
completely alpha. But the funny part, I saw
What?
somebody was like, "What the hell kind of gameplay did people expect from a guy with claws coming out of his hands?"
I
Like,
literally saw people call it Spider-Man but with claws. I'm like,
oh no, I mean,
we
I heard all the jokes. Like that was fine, but I was like some people were acting like they expected this man to like fly or something. Like they expected like it to be a completely different game than what it
no, I'm
looks
so
like.
tired of people is like, oh, what's different about Spider-Man? It's like, bro, it's Spider-Man. You got to keep it in the He's not gonna fly around and shoot laser beams out of his fucking eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
like
I
it
don't
was.
know what people are
they
expecting. Like,
literally said what type of person Wolverine is that is doing detective work.
I was like, see that's spoken like someone who doesn't know shit, because this man was
I don't know shit about
constantly,
Wolverine because
yeah,
Wolverine's always saving their ass with his
yeah.
scents because he can smell gun oil or fucking people coming and shit like that. Like, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
he investigated shit on his own literally all the time. Bro, you can tell these people never even watched
That's
the
how he tracks
cartoon.
people down out of out of country shit. That's how he finds people.
Yeah, he would go off all the time if you watch like the old X-Men cartoon.
Yeah,
Like he would
use
go
a
find
scent
people
from
all
when
the
someone
time.
got
Yeah.
captured, and he would track them the fuck down for miles
Yeah, miles.
from the scents.
Yeah, so you can tell people don't
It's
know what the fuck they
almost as
talking about.
if there is. Morgan, it's not that they don't read comic. I truly believe they don't want the game to succeed. Like
Well, I mean, we know who
they,
those people are.
all these people that talking about that, they absolutely love the Batman game. Yet when you're gonna get a Wolverine game that's doing the same with detective work and stuff like that, all of a sudden that's a no go.
I mean, we those people are called liars.
Oh yeah.
That's what we call
By the
those
way,
people.
anyone here seen the gameplay for Wolverine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already said I'm not gonna cover that, so I'm not gonna cover that. Did that make you less or more excited about the game?
More.
Yeah, it made me more excited. I mean,
Me too.
I'm already there. I'm already ready, and they're gonna go M-rated
Nelson,
just like I thought, and that's what I need to know.
what about you? Are you more excited or less excited after seeing the gameplay for Wolverine? Okay, he's on mute. Here's what this remind me of. This remind me of was the leak for the beta for alpha or beta build for Valhalla, and people tore it down. And when the game was released, it broke sales. The only thing I'm worried about is there is I'm not sure how much of the game is leaked for Wolverine, and what are they gonna do what are they gonna do about it? In the sense of, are they gonna add mechanic, remove mechanic? Are these all gameplay mechanics that have been removed or tweaked? Storyline, is that gonna
Considering
change?
it was from 2022 and it's coming out, it's planned for 2026. The whole thing is getting a game built and then refining on it. So they got a lot of years left to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You want some basic stuff done so you know how the game's gonna work, and then you refine and polish and change and add and all that kind of stuff later. So it is
So
very
you
very
think
early in
what
development.
you've seen is what you're gonna get, only
No,
visually
complete
improved?
opposite.
No, that's what he's saying. It's opposite of that. Like you haven't
Oh,
even
I mean,
you haven't even scratched the surface yet from that
mm-hmm.
gameplay. Not at all.
You're trying to get a basic build out first, and then add on to it from there, add animations and all that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
from
and what
2022. The game's 4 years out yet. If that's what we see we're gonna get, we'd be getting it like in a year.
Exactly.
for a 22 build, it looked great.
I mean, some of us
And
got talent, some of us don't.
and
So,
we seen it multiple. I'm not gonna talk. Never mind. I almost said something I didn't want to say. Um. So yeah. Um. Other than that, PlayStation sales is also revealed,
over
and
50
in
million.
it we sorry,
Over 50 million.
and in it we see, yeah, that, but I'm talking about game sales. We think that Spider-Man is sitting at 22 million. That was during the 2020 year. Uncharted 4 was sitting at 18.7 million. Last of Us 1 sitting at 18.2 million. GT Sport at 12 million. Uncharted Collection 9.7 million. This is a shocker. These two games. Bloodborne 7.5 mil and Days Gone 7.3 mil. Yo, I'm and people said that that number is not true. We got actual confirmation. Bloodborne Days Gone sold 7 mil. And with Bloodborne, it makes you question, why haven't we seen a new one uh, from Soft?
I mean,
Did
they're
something
they're
happen
working
between PlayStation and FromSoft,
and they're working on a
or
lot of stuff right now. So, I mean, it
or
just may not be
with the
something they
Oh,
wanted to
they
go
just
over.
they're not gonna waste time doing something for PlayStation when their games are just selling freaking ridiculous on all platforms.
Yeah.
They're
or
not
with
gonna do
the
it.
or with the success of Elden Ring, they're just gonna go multiplat now.
Yeah, and we
Exactly.
always joke about Xbox not the stuff that's selling on there. They actually had their first game sell well that wasn't a Call of Duty or Madden, and that was Elden Ring. It might have been just to spite PlayStation and God of War, but for whatever reason, it actually sold pretty good on that platform.
Mm-hmm. So, Ratchet and Clank, the first one, is sitting at 7 mil. God of War 3 Remaster sitting at 5.5 mil. A Little Bit Planet 5 mil, 5.5 mil. Detroit, this is the interest one also, sold 5.4 million. Like, that's great. Like, that's more than Devil May Cry back then.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what Devil May Cry 5 is sitting on. And
I know
Infamous,
it hit over 5 million at one point. They haven't reported since.
Yeah, they haven't
Infamous
reported
Second
past that
Son
point.
is 5 mil. Uncharted Lost Legacy 5.3 mil, Drive Club 4 mil, Until Dawn, even Until Dawn is close to 4 mil. Like, lots of great sales. Then you go to 2021, Miles Morales sold 10 mil, Ghost of Tsushima 7.5 mil, which I expected it to be more, especially with how many people talked about it and stuff like that.
I mean, to be
And
fair, there are still new people buying it to this day, so I'm sure it's
yeah,
still going.
so we don't. I would not be surprised if it's sitting now at 10 mil.
Yeah.
Um, um, Demon Souls remake 2 mil. That abysmal. It makes a
I mean
question.
that doesn't surprise me though. Like again, it's
Not really,
Why?
and I bet you the budget on that wasn't like 100 million too. So
well, it was a
Because
launch title. It was a launch title, and it's a Souls game.
but
exactly,
Ratchet was
it
wasn't
sold more
Ratchet
than
launch
Ratchet, didn't it?
title or
That was 2.7 million. How many did Demon Souls do? Like 3.2?
Demon Souls?
Yeah, what did it
Demon
sell?
Demon Souls did 2 mil, 2.1 mil.
It's always in the Ratchet and Clank territory.
It makes a question like what Elden Ring have that Demon Souls doesn't. Especially if you played Elden Ring, you would want to try
World.
a Demon Souls.
I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't even gonna go there, bro. Souls fans, just yeah,
They're weird.
yeah.
Okay.
Also, Elden Ring came out later and is of
Yeah,
course
I'm aware of that one.
also on
Um.
multiple other platforms. So
Mm-hmm.
because it sold,
So.
let's not discredit it, but it sold
Mm-hmm.
gas on the fucking PC. Like it went ape shit on PC.
Mm-hmm. So
So
Death Stranding sold 5 mil. Shout out to Death Stranding, and people said it flopped. Um. God of War. I'm pretty sure that's Ragnarok. No, that's the normal God of War. It's sitting at 23 mil. Last of Us 2, 10 mil. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart 2.5, 2 and 2.34 mil. Ghost of Tsushima DLC 1.5 mil. And the Black Sheep Returnal less than 1 mil. Sitting at 870k.
yeah, honestly, that didn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me because it's a niche game
Yep.
and it was a launch title. Um, Horizon Zero Dawn sitting on 24.3 mil, and God of War Ragnarok 15 mil, and now Spider-Man Remaster 4 mil. I I question what the sales for Forbidden West. Interesting that's not said. I think by now it should be at 10 mil.
Yeah, they definitely sold well.
Yeah. So here is the new information. Physical games make up 60% of third-party titles. For games like Death Stranding, PS Fighter 5, and Uncharted, physical sales are more than 80. Like,
Looks like physical still
I,
doing well.
I don't see PlayStation ever go digital only.
At least not anytime soon.
When your games literally make up 60% and 80%, it's over. And the very
Wait, how
last,
old is that? Because I know most of the games are selling 80/20. Which you
one
still don't
second.
want to lose 20%, but once it gets under like 10, that's when they're gonna want to make a move.
No, he was saying that they're in favor of those specific titles were 60% in favor of physical,
Yeah.
not
Do you want to know?
not in favor of digital. Yeah, you're talking about the overall thing that came out when they talked about the UK people or whatever sent
Yeah,
it
it's
out.
like 83/17 or something like that.
Yeah, so that the original part
But
was
that's still too much of the pie.
well the original part was it was a mistake. It was actually 60/40. when they corrected it. So the first time it looked like it was like digital was destroying it, and then somebody read like the graph wrong or something. I forgot what they stated, but they re-put it back out, and it was something like it was a more akin to 60/40, like 61% digital and then like 39% physical. So yeah, it's still in favor of digital when you look at the overall sales, but yeah, they made it look real crazy at first for the at least for the UK.
So, going back to it, Spider-Man 2 cost more to make than what Sony paid for Insomniac games. They're saying that AAA game development budgets are out of control. Um, so here's an example what happened. Shout out to Derek Strickland. My information from him. Um, which one in it are you talking about? Oh, she's talking about the physical. Okay.
Yeah,
So, Sony paid 24,895 billion for its billion yen for Insomniac games in 2019. That this is equated to 200. Let me call it. Let me round it. 30 million at the time dollar. Based on current foreign exchange rate, that amount is now worth 174 million. Not only are costs rising, but Sony is also facing unfavorable foreign exchange rate. Forex will affect all aspects of Sony businesses, and SIE will pull all levers to reduce costs, including layoff and studio closures. So, a very quick breakdown. Shout out to Kotaku, out of all people. They made a breakdown for what went in with the budget for Insomniac. Pre-production, pre-production began in 2018, and at peak earlier this year, there were 264 developers working directly on the project, with an additional 116 contributing in the form of managers, IT staff, and other support roles. 340 minutes of cinematic cost over a long cost over 40 mil. The final cost was roughly 30 mil over the original 270 million budget. According to the presentation, requiring the game to sell 7.2 mil copies at full price to break even. The game has sold 6.7 million copies as of November 12, 2012. November 12. I would not be surprised if they broke even by now. They're gonna be breaking even and making profits in less than a half a year. Um, so with and I've seen this rumor, and this is people that want to pay attention at PlayStation, but I believe this is what the industry wanna go with. The rumor, the leak is saying, insinuating that PlayStation planning to raise prices for games from $80 to $100, and as much as people want to discredit that there is no confirmation of that, and there isn't. I would not be surprised if this is what the industry is thinking about. We already seen the development cost, and especially developers not developers, players demanding everything under the sun from a game. And nobody asked for actors to be in it. Like, give me some random person, play the role, have the person do good voice acting and call it a day. I didn't enjoy that training because of the dude from which game, which show is it? uh,
Walking
um,
Dead.
Walking Dead. Thank you. Nor did I know who Fragile is or all the other characters. The only one that I know about is Deadman. Not Deadman. Yeah, I think Deadman. Oh, Hartman. No, Hartman was someone else. At any case, but that's about it. Like, so I'm gonna start with you, Nelson. I know they were trying to paint PlayStation in bad light with PlayStation wanted to raise prices, but do you actually see not PlayStation but the industry going to $80 or $100 per game?
Hell yeah! I can't believe how they went 15 years without raising prices. When you look at the price of everything else, I mean, and it'll just make less people buy fewer games day one a little bit. You know what I mean? You just gotta be more selective. That's why I think there needs to be more focused on what you buy. Like a lot of people just throw some games out there. Most of those games are gonna go away because the budgets and stuff today. You know, people are getting paid. People need to get paid more because the price of everything's going up. I used to be able to go to the grocery store like 5 years ago and get everything I needed for the house for like $200. Now it's like 500.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's costing more. It's crazy right now.
Mm-hmm, it absolutely is. We
Do I see the price going there eventually? Yeah, sure. Um, I mean, part of that is I don't know who said that, but basically, just the cost of hiring people is going up, which of course makes sense. If inflation is that high, I mean, salaries have to go up. Um, but the argument that this is what we want. I mean, I'd say not necessarily because there are plenty of games that we can all agree we enjoy and don't need that budget. But it depends on the game. Like if you're gonna make a blockbuster game like that, and you're trying to be like if you make a Spider-Man game, of course it has to look like like the best looking game in the industry, um, has high production values. I mean, yeah, that's what's going to cost. So I don't begrudge them for doing so. I mean, the time that we wanted it, like we wanted to have a AAA Spider-Man game, and that's what a AAA game costs. I mean, if you don't want that, I have some nice Activision games that I can sell you. But that's the quality you're gonna get if you want to have a AA game featuring Spider-Man. And again, you can make great games at a AA budget, but no, if you want to have that AAA experience, that's what it's going to cost. Um, if that's if necessitates raising the price, the thing there is, of course, it highly depends on um, the distribution model is digital, is physical, and Sony obviously doesn't have any costs when they're putting it on their own platform. And I think in this case, we do also have to keep in mind that because this is a licensed property, you've seen it as well in the leaks, is that uh, Disney or Marvel, gets a cut from every game sold, or they get royalties. Like with bundles was like up to 50%. So that changes the way you have to calculate that. So for titles like The Last of Us or God of War, which is completely owned by Sony, obviously you don't have those considerations. So you also have to keep that in mind that Spider-Man is a special case.
mm-hmm. I up so Nate, what's your thought? Do you think they're gonna go there? Not PlayStation, but the industry as a whole. Because again, people want to paint PlayStation in bad light, but seeing how the industry is heading, I would absolutely not be surprised if next year we get an $80 price hike. And it is muted. So then I'm gonna ask you, Weeb, is there a
back.
way to prevent it, or it's over? It's just gonna happen.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, they did this
I'm thinking it'll
with
be
the
till the end of the generation.
exactly like
But next
it's
generation, yeah, probably. I mean, if you look at the price of the PS5 when it came out, with inflation today, $500 is $576 already, which is probably why they won't lower the price, because inflation is like made up for that. You know what I mean? What they're saving to produce it now.
yeah, exactly, because it's not like you can increase that price at infinitum. Like sure, yeah, with a console, you know, you have the easier time because it's one-time purchase. But with games, like it's gonna keep coming back, and you know, unless you want to entice people to go, you know, with subscription servers and put everything in there, but that's not what Sony wants to do with their first-party titles, going day and day in the subscription servers because they're costing too much to make. You do have to account that, you know, if you raise a price, you know, uh, it's likely that people are going to buy less games, and that's likely what happened when they raised the price to 70 or 80 for us because you know we're in Europe, we always get the short end of the
Oh, it
stick
definitely
because we're already
happened.
paying 70. Um, yeah, but I'd say that they probably calculate like okay, say yeah, there might be a small drop off, but it's not it's gonna be more than offset by the fact that we're gonna get more profit, and that's sort of but yeah, the question is at what point you know are people are gonna drop off and say yeah I might hold off and there's gonna be a point. I mean if games are gonna cost $100, right? You know that there will be people who will be struggling to buy these games. They will buy these games, but they will buy less
Instead
of
of
them.
buying 20 games a day, they're gonna start buying like 12.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, and if that means that you're still going to make more money, yeah, they're going to do it. But if it means you're going to make less money, then they're probably going to hold off. And the thing is, there's a perception thing as well. Like you can make you can do like a $10 price hike, but you're not gonna get away with say, oh yeah, no, tomorrow is going to be from 70 to 100. That's not going to happen.
Okay, Nate, you here?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
just talking, man.
Bro, he has like trouble hearing me this entire time.
No, no, I heard you, but I'm not sure if you came back or just for a second or went away. So I'm making sure.
Yeah, yeah,
What's your
yeah.
thought on what's going on? Do you see them raising the price, not PlayStation, but the industry as a whole, going to an 80 or $100? And is there a way to prevent this?
Yeah, stop fucking up the world economy, world leaders. But yeah, I mean, if they're smart, I mean, they'll just cut costs in some other places. I mean, honestly, one of the biggest problems I see for AAA games in particular development is marketing. Like, as cool as some of the shit is that they put around for the marketing for Spider-Man, some of the shit you don't need. Like hanging the truck from the ceiling on the thing. Like, how much was that? Like,
The Times Square shit and
yeah,
the
like,
Vegas one where they had that's it like $10,000 a minute or something like that. I don't
yeah,
know what
like,
the fuck it costs, but it's crazy.
yeah,
It's
crazy shit
between
like
the
that.
marketing and the release game.
Well,
Like, for
like if
example,
well, no, but I'm saying like when you've got a $300 million budget, if 120 million of that is marketing, there is a problem. Like that to me, like there's not enough there's not enough marketing to justify that in the world.
I'm hoping that's just because that's what made Spider-Man so much though, is because of the marketing. Like if we don't sell X and X amount of copies within X and X amount of time, like we're in trouble here because of the licensing and shit. So hopefully there are other games they don't really do that.
I mean, you would hope. I mean, I'm not saying they specifically split it that way, but I know that was one of the big criticisms for myself when I seen the split for Halo. Like Halo was $500 million total, and 250 million of that was marketing, and I was like, for what? I was like, I think I've seen one freaking Halo commercial.
They had that. They had it on all the gummy bears. They had it on the monster. When that shit got delayed, I was drinking out of a Halo monster can.
So here is
for double XP. Even though
Yeah.
they put it on the can and the game didn't release, they still had to pay for that marketing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have a question. So what about release date that's so stupid that you're like, why are you releasing it in such a window?
The
For
release
example,
date for what?
we have two games that either one of them gonna do well or two of them not gonna do well. The first one is Dragon Dogma 2. I love the first one. Absolutely do. The first one is getting released the same month. I'm not sure even if it's the same day. With none other than Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah, it is the same day.
And
That's
both
fucking crazy. One of those guys got to move. And to be honest with you, I think Rise of the Ronin
Precisely.
will be the one that gets crushed.
How you gonna launch a new IP in such in a month with Dragon Dogma, a game that have been wanting a sequel for how many years now? 10 years. Like at some point, as a developer and PlayStation the publisher, you're asking for it. I absolutely
I'm not gonna
don't.
buy it. I'm playing Dragon's Dogma first. Like I'll get Rise of the Ronin later.
I don't see Rise of the Ronin getting that much love now. Its release window is atrocious. Why not? Why not release it? What? October, September, something to this degree.
Just wait till June. Release it in June when there's nothing around.
Wait
Or
after.
May.
Wait after the tsunami that is the JRPG month. Wait after that. Wait after Dragon Dogma. Give it a month or two, and then release it.
I say May. I mean, why not?
If I'm PlayStation, I would literally.
Yeah, but how successful was the first Dragon's Dogma?
Not that much, but
Morgan, I
Capcom's on a
said,
different level than they were too. Like
Morgan, I said October. I just gave a random month out of my head just to prevent it from getting funked by JRPG or Dragon Dogma. Like, you can find a random date, a random month to make it work. Especially when PlayStation is the one releasing that game and it's one console only. You want it to do well. Like,
it's their money behind
especially.
that, and I don't think you're gonna win. I think Dragon's Dogma is gonna be like one of the
Oh yeah,
big games.
Dragon
You're
Dogma,
not
we waited
like the
2
first
years.
one sold like a couple million. I think this one's gonna hit like 10 million in its first year. I think
We
it's gonna be
waited
nuts.
we waited 10 years for the second one. Absolutely gonna crush it.
Capcom is so much better than they were now.
Yeah,
Then though, like
I
holy
mean,
crap! Like
I think you're overestimating Dragon's Dogma, but whatever.
I
have
think
you
we're gonna
played
find out.
Dragon? We are overestimating it. With the growth that Capcom have gotten from the Capcom back then, I can't
Capcom
imagine.
2008 to 2015 was struggling. As a Capcom fan, they were crapcom. I'm not even gonna lie to kick it, but
Yeah,
since
but
2015,
this
they have yeah.
it has nothing to do with Capcom. It has to do with the IP.
Omar, read the DM.
But the game
Yeah,
type
give me a
though,
second.
the game type is very popular.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
think it's
mean,
definitely going to do better. I don't know if it's going to jump out the gym or something like it's going to skyrocket, but I think it's definitely going to do better. It's just that's a whole crowded window, uh, just in general at this point for the early start of the year, as far as like RPGs and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see who really thrives. Obviously, Final Fantasy Rebirth is gonna do hella numbers, but it'll be interesting to see what else takes off.
The Eugene Chronicles is gonna be the indie darling. Metaphor is gonna be the JRPG action RPG, darling, and
Well,
it's gonna be
it's
a
turn
crazy
based.
month.
It's not action. That's prior combat.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
and not to mention Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
yeah. Grand Blue Fantasy
Day
is
one.
really
That's day one.
Not to mention, I mean, the GOAT is going to come out in January with
like a dragon,
Like a
infinite wealth.
Dragon Infinite as well.
Yeah, they're starting the year off healthy with like a dragon.
So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. With that being said, let's cut it short. This was a great conversation. We showed enough respect to Insomiac. Um, Shame what happened to them, and criminal should be prosecuted if they ever get found. And PlayStation, I know it's not possible, but try to up your security even more because your developer don't deserve this. Um, I'm hoping that this is not gonna make developers think twice before joining PlayStation Studios.
Of course not, dude. What the
I
fuck?
mean, um, but other than that, shout out to Insomniac for putting that tweet where I want to read it very quick.
Omar, it's on the internet, bro.
And I'm like, okay, then never mind. But I'm genuinely happy with it. No, no, no,
You
no.
can
Real
just
talk, they did
summarize
word
it.
it well.
They said they're
They
gonna
did word it
continue
well.
development. Don't sweat it. Wolverine's coming. Kick ass. That's all. That's all we. That's all we needed to know.
Good summary. What
Yeah.
I liked is how they said that they are as resilient as Wolverine. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And shout out to the developers. I've seen a few on Twitter being heartbroken, but also being uh, fighting it. And yeah, let's get to the outro. We're gonna go with the one that created this entire shit show. That was my fan. I blame you. I still blame you, Nelson. Where we can find you, and thanks for coming through. Okay, okay, okay. Um, then we thank you for coming through. Where we can find you.
You can find me on Twitter as the Weep Sheriff at Infinite Rhizome, and yeah, Other Nation.
You're gonna need to find a new catchphrase because it's now Other Player Podcast. So
No, Other Nation is still a thing.
okay, Other Donation it is. Um, Morgan, shout out to you for coming through. Where people can find you. Put that in the comment. Um, as for Nate, thank you for hosting. I think I have the problem figured out. I will ask you off air if that's what it is. Where people can find you.
Uh, yeah. Uh, on Twitter at the real innate, as usual, keeping it gaming.
Yeah, Power Watch,
And
yeah? Gaming. Continue.
I mean, yeah. And shortly, I'm gonna go play Santa Claus for about 20 minutes and go deliver these gifts across town, so I
Have fun,
don't have
man.
to wrap them. Yep.
And shout out for doing so. And Nelson, you're here or
What's that?
we will shout out to you. I blame you for this whole disaster. Where people can find you.
Nelson Gaming 12 on PSN and Twitter, and I just wanted to have people download the demo for Cry Machina if you like anime type games, because this
Oh
game
yeah,
is fucking lit.
I
You know what I'm
I
talking about?
downloaded it. I played it a bit. I skipped through the story because I don't want to be spoiled, and I enjoyed what I played. That's absolutely
Yeah,
on my
I'm liking
radar.
it.
Shout out to Kofi. He's the one that told me about it. Apparently, this is a successor to a spiritual successor to a game called Cry something something. Not Cry Machina, but Cry something.
Okay,
Other
good story.
yeah. Other than that, um, shout out to everyone that came through. This was so much fun. Had a blast. For next week, I'm gonna talk with the team and see if we do a show or not. Cause I do want to be respectful to everyone that anyone that want to take a week off and either game or just spend time with the family or just get drunk and watch the fireworks. Um, this was a great show. Again, sad what happened to Insomiac, but we gotta end it so Nate can play Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas to all,
Duncan, again, I blame you.
Ho
And
ho
one
ho!
last thing,
and to all a good night.
the name is now Otter Player Podcast, Episode 1.
Peace.
We're
That was
starting
last
new.
week.
I
Episode 2.
wanted to do it next year, Other Player starting fresh. But you said no, so we went now. So we're gonna have 2 episodes or 1 episode before next year. And I think I have it figured out. You know that cover that covers that that magnet that covers the fan.
A magnet that covers the fan.
Yeah. The one that I showed you. That I can remove it. That you can place it on the fan, on top of the fan.
Okay.
It it it's like a cover, and it got holes in it.
I mean, do you want
Uh,
me to end the podcast? Because you just.
oh no, you can end it. I thought you
Okay,
ended.
you didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, like.